Okay, let's get started. Welcome to week 15 of Ayurvedic daily habits. So this week is our habit number 7, awareness week, which is oral hygiene. So let's begin our session with presence pause and breath regulation. I'm going to guide you through both of them. Please be seated in a comfortable position and preferably close your eyes. Let's begin by bringing your awareness to your breath. Observe your breath. And then move your attention to your stomach. Notice any sensations in your stomach without labeling them or judging them. Now move your attention to your feet. Bring all of your awareness to your feet. Now notice your posture. Do not correct it, just observe your posture. Now watch what's running on your mind. Do not engage with your thoughts, just observe what's running on your mind. Now, how alert or tired do you feel in your body? How alert or tired do you feel in your body? And where do you feel it in your body? Where do you feel it in your body? Now let's take 3 deep breaths. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be present with your feeling. And you can open your eyes. All right. So today's topic again is oral hygiene. It's one of our morning routines. So we're going to talk about oral hygiene. Before we begin, a quick habit check-in. So the first half of the program, we went through the presence pause as a foundational practice. And then we have the breath regulation, the 4-point hydration rhythm, evening early dinners, and evening rituals and evening unwinding. I hope you all are getting a chance to practice this and make progress on all of these. And last week, our topic was sunlight exposure, which is essentially the best thing to do in the morning, but also it can be done at any time of the day. If you haven't attended the previous 2 sessions, you can watch the recordings that I just posted on the group. And this week, let's begin by talking about oral hygiene. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why we are addressing oral hygiene as an important habit in this program. Okay. So, if you're familiar with Ayurveda, you must know that it really highlights gut health as an important aspect for overall health. Even modern medicine has recognized that today. We see a lot of practitioners saying that gut health, it all begins in your gut, right? Because it influences digestion, your immunity, your energy, mood, and everything depends on your gut health. But the very first step of gut health actually begins with oral health. Digestion doesn't start in the stomach, it actually begins right here in the mouth. The way we chew, the saliva, even how we taste food, how good our taste perception of our tongue is, all of this prepares the body for what's coming next. Because of that, oral health is not isolated, it's actually a reflection of what's happening inside our body and vice versa. What happens, our oral health impacts our gut health as well. So now your mouth is like a home to a whole community of bacteria, right? Just like in the gut, it's not about getting rid of all the bacteria, it's about balance. So when the balance of bacteria is disturbed, let's say, it doesn't just disturb your mouth, it can actually influence your digestion and affect how well your food is processed. It can impact gut health, and over time, since a large part of our immune system is connected to the gut, even our immunity gets affected. So, something as simple as oral care is actually playing a role in your overall internal balance. And this is why Ayurveda places so much importance on daily oral practices. It's not just for clean teeth, but also for supporting the whole entire system. Okay. And let's talk about why oral care is important in the morning, why it's a part of our morning rituals. Overnight, what happens is when we're sleeping, our body is not just resting, it's actually undergoing restoration, a kind of cleaning. It's midnight is when our liver function is most active, and liver helps in detox. So all a lot of metabolic activity happens at night, and the body processes and pushes out the waste. And that's the reason you wake up feeling the urge to defecate, to pee. And one of the places this waste is pushed out is in your mouth. And that's why in the morning you notice a coating on the tongue, a bad breath, or a sense of heaviness in the mouth. This is the body expressing, eliminating what it has cleared out. So in Ayurveda, this is seen as a reflection of toxin accumulation on the tongue, or what's called ama in Ayurveda. And this tells you how well your digestion functioned the previous day. So your morning mouth becomes a very simple daily feedback system. Okay. If there is a thick coating or a on the tongue, or a strong odor from your mouth, or heaviness, it indicates that digestion wasn't optimal, or there was some level of imbalance internally. So instead of ignoring it or masking it, we can start observing it as a signal. So I want you all to think about this as your morning mouth is like a daily report card of your digestion and internal balance. So this is awareness week. Before we jump into introduction of few oral care practices, I want you all to notice this week how your oral health is at the moment. In the morning when you wake up, before you jump into cleaning the mouth, just pause and ask yourself, what do you actually feel? Firstly, ask yourself, do you straight up like drink water or coffee or eat any food before you clean your mouth? Or do you first thing in the morning clean your mouth? Okay. And if you do clean your mouth first in the morning, even later in the day, before cleaning your mouth, take a moment to observe, how does your mouth feel? Does it feel fresh or dry or slightly heavy? And then look at your tongue and observe. Does it look, there's usually a coating on the tongue, but how heavy is that coating? Is it a thick white coating that you cannot remove even with a tongue scraper? Or is it a coating that can easily come off with a tongue scraper? So observe how your tongue feels and your mouth feels in the morning. If your mouth feels relatively fresh and your tongue is mostly clean, it usually indicates that the digestion is fairly balanced. And if there is slight dryness or a thin coating, it may suggest mild imbalance, maybe because of dehydration or late eating or eating heavier foods. Usually, heavier foods can lead to a thick coating on the tongue and a strong odor or like a heavy feeling. So, this is a clear sign that the body had accumulated more ama, as in more toxins. So, and the system is trying to clear it out. So just observe these patterns and you'll start noticing, oh, like when I eat late, for example, this is how my tongue looks. Or when I hydrate well, my mouth feels different. And this awareness itself is powerful because it connects your daily habits to how your body responds. It teaches you to learn, it teaches you to understand your body's signals in response to what you're doing. So before you clean your mouth in the morning this week, learn to read it, learn to understand how your mouth is feeling because your body is speaking to you every morning. Okay. So let's talk about three oral care practices. I'm going to introduce you to these three practices this week, and next week we're going to talk about these in detail as to how to implement them. So, as we discussed earlier, the mouth reflects our internal health, and these three habits help support this overall health, mainly our oral health, but also overall health. So, first up is brushing your teeth. So, I want to highlight an important aspect of brushing your teeth. In Ayurveda, the focus is not just on cleaning teeth, but also on doing it gently. Traditionally, Ayurveda suggested tooth twigs were used to clean the mouth. I'm not asking you to use twigs and clean your mouth today, but it's okay to use a toothbrush. But I want to talk about the toothpaste that we use. Ayurveda suggests using anything that is preferably bitter or astringent to clean your mouth in the morning. Bitter or astringent. Many modern toothpastes do not fall under this category. So that's something to think about. And also, most importantly, many modern toothpastes can be quite harsh on our tongue. If you notice, they create a strong burning or like tingling sensation on your tongue. I request you all to observe this. Whatever toothpaste that you're using right now, observe how your tongue reacts to it. What happens is numbs your tongue. This reduces the sensitivity of the tongue. And this is really important for our overall health because taste is the first step of digestion. If your tongue can clearly perceive the taste, it helps signal the body to prepare the digestive enzymes properly. So, if you're using a harsh toothpaste, your tongue sensitivity is getting impacted and you're impacting your digestion. So, the idea is to use a gentler toothpaste. There are many Ayurvedic toothpastes in the market that are relatively gentle. You can even observe this week switching to an Ayurvedic toothpaste and see how, if you're currently using an over-the-counter toothpaste, even brands like Sensodyne that advertise themselves as sensitive do really burn your tongue. So just notice if you can make that change or if you're already using a gentler toothpaste. That's very good. Notice how your tongue feels after brushing your teeth, and if you're making a shift, notice how that shift is impacting how your tongue feels. So the second practice is tongue scraping. As we discussed, that overnight our body pushes out waste, and a lot of that shows up as a coating on the tongue. And if we don't remove it, we're essentially reintroducing that waste back into the system when we eat or drink. So, tongue scraping is a quick practice, takes just a few seconds, but it helps remove this coating and it supports that freshness and improves taste perception. So, this is another practice that we can work on. Next week, we're going to discuss more about this and different types of tongue scrapers and which one you can prefer. And the third practice is oil pulling. Oil pulling is swishing oil in the mouth for a few minutes, anywhere between 5 to 15 or 20 minutes even. And what that does is it helps balance the oral microbiome. I'd like to think of it as Ayurvedic mouthwash. Okay. You get these over-the-counter mouthwashes. I don't know if anybody uses them, but they're absolutely destructive to your entire oral microbiome because they kill both the good and the bad bacteria. Whereas oil pulling is a healthier alternative if you want to clean your mouth because oil restores that microbiome. And anything like sesame oil is the best option to use for oil pulling. Some people use coconut oil, may work for some people, may not work for many, but sesame oil ideally helps best. And what it does is it's not aggressive, it doesn't kill everything, it supports a healthy balance of bacteria, and it helps reduce the harmful bacteria and it supports gum health. And it actually impacts, as I said, overall health because your oral microbiome impacts your gut microbiome. They're both very much interrelated. So, these are the three practices. We're going to talk more about these next week. But together, they create a powerful oral routine that supports your oral hygiene, your digestion, and overall balance. So, this week, as I said, not expecting you to start any of these. You may be doing some of these practices, but just bring more awareness into how your mouth feels in the morning before oral hygiene, and then how, say, a toothpaste or scraping your tongue, if you can start a practice like that, how your mouth feels afterwards. Just be aware of this, and also you can think about how a, say, an early dinner on in the previous night shows up the next day in your mouth, and how eating different types of foods makes you feel differently in your mouth the next morning. So it's like treat your mouth as sort of a report card of how your digestion is. So I hope you all can notice this week. Any questions? Okay, if nobody has anything, let you go. Thank you all for joining.